Jerry Duran builds high-quality knives designed for long-term, rugged use in the field. It just so happens that in doing so, he also creates razor-sharp works of art. Jerry Duran is proud of his work, understandably, and his craftsmanship hasn't gone unnoticed.
I won first place with this knife at the State Fair this year in the Hispanic Arts, which is for professional artists in the Hispanic field. And so it's a very pretty knife, and drew a lot of attention at the fair.
He estimates this award winner took him about 20 hours to make and would sell for about $800. And he makes quite a range of knives for those varied needs.
And this is a boning knife made out of rather thin steel where it flexes. It's a very important tool if you get an elk or a deer way far back in the woods where you can't bring it out all in one piece, because this enables you to bone out the meat and bring the meat out by itself. This design here is called the Drop Point Hunter. It's a very, very popular design, very well known. These are the bone saws that I make. These are very functional in field dressing an animal. This works great for when you're going to field dress an animal, because this enables you to get in the cavity, in tight places in the cavity where this other one wouldn't give you the flexibility to do that.
But his knife building pride glows brightest when he talks about a certain strain of steel he's been working with for a dozen years now.
This knife here is called the design is called a camp knife, and it's made out of the Sandia Peak tram cable. It's hand forged. All the different strands in the cable show up in the steel when you get done.
The Sandia Peak tram is the longest of its type in the world. It covers more than 2.5 miles from end to end and climbs 4,000 feet in the process. In 1997, after 3 decades of service, it was time to replace the 4 track cables that support the tram cars. Each of those cables is as long as 50 football fields. And when the thick multi-strand cables came down, Jerry Duran came calling.
When Jerry came up, he interested in some of the cable that we were replacing, the old cable. I thought, boy, I'll give you as much as you want. What in the heck could you possibly want to do with some cable?
Of course, we know what Jerry wanted to do with that cable.
I had never been able to get tram cable until I got this from George, so this is one of the first knives that I made from the tram cable.
Jerry actually built a buoy knife for me out of our original track cables.
While the tram's use of the cables was at an end, all those years of hard service was actually making a metal ideally suited for sharpening.
Cable work hardens, wire work hardens, and with the more bendings and the more hammering on it and things like that, and actually gets stronger.
And it doesn't hurt that the multiple strands create a beautiful pattern in the finished steel blade. The Swiss company that manufactures those tram cables was impressed.
They actually contracted Jerry to make knives for several of their employees that were retiring in the next couple of years, had a big ceremony, and rather than presenting with a gold watch, they got something even more dear to their hearts.
Jerry Duran has been making knives for 3 decades. His blades are handmade, meticulously crafted, and significantly pricier than anything you'll find in your local sporting goods store.
You can start seeing it's starting to get a shine to it already.
He doesn't apologize for those steeper price tags. In fact, he says compared head to head, his knives are a bargain.
Store-bought knives are relatively inexpensive because they're mass-produced, and the materials they use aren't that good a quality of materials. In a custom-made knife, we use the best material you can use for the particular application of the knife you're going to make. The difference in the quality of your knife is going to make all the difference in your work out in the field.